Mr. Jihadi had said in his testimony, in his written testimony, that in his testimony he mentioned that the importance of not rushing this process. That's his testimony. So I think it's important for us to get it right, and I think we've got to have comfort with this. I mean, I understand the international push, but we've done numerous things in this government, rushing, and then being embarrassed by the results of rushing through the process. So, Government Accountability Office, as I said, is the Inspector General for us. I mean, I think it's really the least, we should at least do is have another pair of eyes on this process, answering a lot of the questions that Mr. Delbianco had mentioned. I mean, as the internet has changed over the decades, so has the world community. I think the people would credibly argue that the world's a more dangerous place today, not a safer place today. Yeah. So, these aren't crazy things to ask and review. Let me turn to Mr. Delbianco to address that concern and the concern about another government look.
Congressman, the members of NetChoice are concerned that we send the wrong signal by simply hitting the brakes or having a delay. And yet, we think you're sending the right signal by asking questions about defining the terms in the 4 principles. What does the term mean, multi-stakeholder, meeting the needs and expectations? What does openness mean? More importantly, what are the risks to those 4 principles and the risk of government influence associated with new proposals? So that is exactly how I believe we can channel the kind of energy that you and Congresswoman Blackburn have brought here, channel that energy into having GAO begin now at articulating what they think definitions that are appropriate for accountability and the risks, because that will allow us in the community who are designing proposals to test those proposals against the risks that Congress and the GAO have identified. Those should begin in parallel, because we started last week in Singapore to design multiple proposals, and you wouldn't believe the email traffic that's already gone on since we left Singapore. Thousands of email messages with different groups, not all ICANN, different groups coming up with proposals. And over 18 months, plus potentially two-year extensions, we'll have the opportunity to narrow that down to a short list of proposals. I would benefit from having your work, the work of GAO, or anybody in the U.S. government at articulating the risks we want to avoid.
And I would just end, Joe Barton stole the phrase I was going to use, Ronald Reagan, trust, but verify. And all this is a verification of what everybody says is going to happen is actually going to happen. Yield back my time.